On the hour, rugbyleague.com news. Brought to you by Thomson Reuters, the global leader for news.
Coming up, Gold Coast coach Des Hasler faces the axe after Broncos beat the Titans. Penrith make it 5 straight wins after the Warriors trounced the Tigers. And the Catalan Dragons ripped off as Warrington keep their Super League finals hopes alive. But first up, in the final match of round 19 of the NRL at Robina on the Gold Coast, Brisbane beat the Titans 26-14 to make it 5 straight wins for the Bronx after the visitors led 14-2 at the break. And there's now talk that Des Hasler will not see out the week as Gold Coast coach. Stay tuned for more. South of the Tweed, Penrith continued their climb up the table, the 4-time defending champions blowing away Western Sydney rivals Parramatta 32-10 at CommBank Stadium. The Panthers up 12-10 at half-time. That was after Penrith superstar Nathan Cleary entered the field via the bench after 25 minutes. Cleary getting across the whitewash with 9 to go as the Panthers made it 5 consecutive victories. And across the Tasman, a not-so-happy homecoming for Tigers coach Benji Marshall. His team getting done by the Warriors. The Aucklanders hammering the boys from Concord 34-14. after it was 16-8 at the interval. In the NRLW, in the South East Queensland Derby at Seabus Super Stadium, the Broncos crushed the Gold Coast 42 points to 4, and earlier in the day, the Wars 14-0 winners over Parramatta in Auckland. In the Queensland Cup, wrapping up Indigenous round, Norths won 30 points to 22 over the Jets at Ipswich, and across the border, Tweed Heads beat South Logan 36-32. In the New South Wales Cup, Taylor May scored a hat-trick for Western Suburbs in Auckland, but the Warriors still got the chocolates 22-14 over the Magpies. At CommBank, Parramatta beat the Panthers 26-20. At Inner City Wentworth Park, the Dragons beat the Roosters 28-18. And across the harbour at North Sydney, the Bears 50-0 winners over the Bulldogs. In Sydney's Ron Massey Cup at TG Milner, Ryde Eastwood 42-14 winners over Penrith Brothers. And at Ringrose Park, Jared Haynes 20 Magpies, too good for Hills Bulls, 42-22 the final score in that one. In the Sunday matches in PNG's Digicel ExxonMobil Cup at Lay, 18-all between the Mendy Muriks and Goroka Lahanis, and in the second match, Lay Tigers 22-6 over the Wagi Tumbe. At the Santos NFS, Gulf ESO beat the Port Moresby Vipers 30 points to 18 after the Hella Wigmans 18-10 victory over the Central Dabaris. And up in Anga Province, playing 2,000 metres above sea level, the Meox 12-8 winners over Mount Hagen. In the Northern Hemisphere, firstly in the south of France, where the Catalan Dragons hosted Warrington, the Wolves got the result, but only just. A late try to Josh Thulis, giving Warrington a 24-20 victory. Mind you, the hopelessly out-of-form Dragons denied a fair try early on, as called by our very own Steve Mascord, live and free, right here on rugbyleague.com. And in the north of England, Lee Leopards causing an upset at home, beating Super League leaders Hull KR 28 points to 10 after leading 14-6 at half-time. And speaking of upsets, in the Championship, Halifax knocked over Toulouse 30 points to 16. The Panthers up 16-4 as they went to the sheds after 40 minutes at the Shay. And earlier in the Deep South, Doncaster coming away with a 38-18 win over the London Broncos. That was after it was 12-all at the break. And finally, on the international stage, the French women's team has flogged the Irish 34 points to 4 in Dublin. I'm Jason Costigan, and that's the latest in news on rugbyleague.com.